US Treasury yields, the 10-year. Many people are watching that in terms of...
Which people?
Investors, analysts, journalists, everyone is watching that. If it breaches that key 5% level, we've spoken about this
That's never
before.
going to happen.
I'll tell you why it might just happen.
Okay.
It might just happen if quantitative easing 2 does come to an end.
Yeah.
Who is going to buy US Treasuries? So this is based on the premise, it is based on the premise that 8 out of 10 bonds issued is being bought by the Fed. So if the Fed is not sapping up that excess paper, who is going to be buying it?
I can't believe you lie awake at night worrying about things like this, really.
I don't lie awake at night.
Because the people that are going to be buying treasuries are the same people that are always buying treasuries, the ones that want to invest in the safest asset anywhere on the planet. So the guys who've got long-term pensions, blah, 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 those accumulating foreign reserves.
So then why is the Fed buying 8 out of 10 bonds which are being issued?
I can give you my outlook for the US Treasuries for the next 25 years is that they're going to offer yields between 2 and 4%,
yes, okay.
which are appropriate to the various economic cycles. Will come backwards and forwards. And, that's the trend we've seen since the 1980s, is that kind of lower environment. It's never going to get to 5 because those assets are too attractive. The most reliable government anywhere in the world.
Okay, on that note, let's take a look at Apple. It's quite an interesting stock. Rebalancing at the Nadaq 100 will make, Apple will make up only 12% of the Nadaq 100 and significantly lower than what it was before. So that's a big blow for Apple.
This is another totally irrelevant concern.
Yes, okay.
It is a massive success
it's
story.
It's a news item, Paul.
It's a massive success story, Apple, of course. So it's kind of gone from a modest-sized company to an absolutely enormous one by market cap. So it dominates the Nasdaq 100. It's like 20%. So the guys that put that index together have decided that they're going to give it a haircut, which is good for the other Nasdaq tech stocks like Cisco and Microsoft and so on. But why it's utterly irrelevant is there are very few index ETFs or anything else which track the Nasdaq. You know, of course, that there might be more that track the S&P 500 and so on and so forth. So we were, in fact, buying the Apple shares in our New York portfolios because there may have been a few idiots who've been selling them today because they're doing that index rebalancing thing. But they didn't even go down that much. What a pity, because otherwise it would have been a great buying opportunity.
What has been going up is silver and oil. We've got Brent crude at 122. Silver at $39 an ounce. Just very quickly, I know that you don't really focus on this, but I mean, it's quite fascinating to see what's happening there.
Silver.
And I'll tell you why I'm
looking
at these as well.
Yeah.
Is because the ETFs that have been created because of the excess liquidity that has come into the market, of course, courtesy quantitative easing, has been boosting the likes of silver.
What's the market value of that silver ETF?
It is quite small. So
like $250,000.
I'm not really sure.
Well, no, it's probably more than that. I'm being facetious.
But, looking at those two markets.
Look, the commodity story, I'll give you my 25-year forecast for commodity prices as well.
Do you have a 25-year crystal ball that looks into the future?
They're going to go up thanks to all the strong demand out of the developing world. At one point or another, we will all become so absurdly wealthy that we don't need to build any more bridges, airplanes, cars,
Would you get rich from buying into the MTN story, to go into India or not to go into India? We've heard similar stories before, MTN declining to comment, and of course the other party saying that nothing is in the pipeline. Yeah,
look, it's clearly a case where they've been involved with adventures of this sort in recent months, recent years. So initially we thought, oh, this looks like it could be a resumption of the euphoria of the past. But the work we were looking at this morning suggests, firstly, the target company is quite small, and the maximum stake that's available is around a 26% stake because of the Indian investment rules, as you know. So it's kind of tiny. It's a couple of billion rand. It's not likely to be a needle mover for MTN, which is like a 250, 260 billion rand company nowadays. So my own sense is that it's probably not much to be worried about one way or the other. So I was a little disappointed that people were selling the stock later in the afternoon, but maybe they've got their own concerns.
Okay, Paul, let's turn our attention now to the joke of the day, because I know you should have a joke. Did you prep one? I know that there's lots of queues at the petrol stations. You didn't get one ready
of course,
for me.
the petrol station story. So people are
queuing. On your own notes.
They're going to be like, having fist fights on the forecourt this afternoon. But the average vehicle, if you look at the increase as big as it is, you're going to save yourself like 25 rand. As opposed to filling up tomorrow. So, get over yourself, just go home and fill up tomorrow. The other joke I saw, which I thought was moderately funny, was that the Vodacom rebranding was actually an April Fool's joke, and they're going back to blue, and that tomorrow there's going to be a massive cleanup party, you know, after all of that to get busy with.
Very hilarious, Paul. Thank you so much. What a great way to end a Tuesday closing bell off. Thank you so much.